welcome back to Play Action Fantasy Football. This is Jonathan here with you going over our Week 17 tight end rankings. This is going to be a big playoff game. We're going to be in the finals in most leagues, so it's going to be a tough one. I know there's going to be a lot of people in there banking on this, needing this, so let's get it started. Number 1, we're going to Travis Kelce at home against Cincinnati. It's going to be a great matchup for him. He hasn't been playing the best of his abilities as of late. He only had about 5 catches for 44 yards against Las Vegas, and that was just looking terrible, and the whole Chiefs offense was looking terrible that game. So, honestly, I got to put him there at number 1 still against Cincinnati. They're going to bounce back. He has Patrick Mahomes, and he's the leading receiver there, so it's hard to not put him up there. I got to put him up there this week. Look for him to bounce back for sure. Now, the next one I'm going to is Evan Ingram at home against Carolina. I think it's a good matchup. Carolina has a good defense, but Evan Ingram, at the end of the day, no matter who's at quarterback, Trevor Lawrence or their backup, either way, Evan Ingram is going to be the main target, and they're really fighting. So I definitely think he's going to be a number 2 this week. Number 3, I'm going to Hawkinson. Now, Hawkinson, he's questionable/doubtful. He's getting an MRI done, I think, yesterday on Monday, and it's still Tuesday morning, no updates. So I do think he's not going to be playing. They're expecting him to miss quite a bit of time, so it doesn't look good. But if it is a minor issue, I am going to put him up there at number 3 just because against Green Bay, it's a good matchup, and Hawkinson would definitely eat in that matchup. So you definitely got to put him up there if he is playing. Number 4, we're going to George Kittle at Washington this week. It's a great matchup. Washington's been giving up a lot of points, and George Kittle, he's been playing amazing. Last week, he was the leading tight end, and he had 7 catches for 126 yards. Nothing too crazy, no touchdown. However, that's still 19.5 points, so definitely got to take that at number 4. Number 5, we're going to David Njoku at home against the Jets. The Browns are fighting to get in the playoffs, secure their spot. The Jets, not so much. So the Jets, 16 against tight ends. Njoku, he's been playing great, especially with Joe Flacco there at quarterback. He's been in the top 5 the past 3 weeks in tight ends, and last week he had a touchdown, 44 yards, 6 catches. So definitely think this week against the Jets, definitely doable where he gets, another 15 to 20 points. Number 6, I'm going to Jake Ferguson at home against Detroit. Great matchup. Detroit is one of the better defenses. However, against the pass, against tight ends, they're number 23. So, with that being said, Dak Prescott's certainly been finding Ferguson quite a bit. I know last week Ferguson didn't have quite the game that he usually does. He only had 4 catches for 45 yards, 8.5 points, but I've seen quite a bit worse than that. So I think he's going to have a good game this week at home against Detroit. Number 7 is the same game at Dallas. Dallas is one of the better defenses all around, especially when it comes to tight ends. They're number 7 against tight ends in fantasy. And so Sam Laporta, he's going to be there at number 7. We're going to say that he probably will be in the 10 to 15 point range. He's not going to have one of those huge games like he usually does, just because Dallas's defense is very good, and the Lions offense just isn't quite in the same flow that they were. They're still a great offense, so we'll still see. He's still putting up points. Number 8, we're going to McBride at Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a decent defense, pretty good defense, but that's mostly against the pass, especially against tight ends. They are number 20th. So it doesn't impress me too much. I think McBride definitely is going to have a good week. Last week McBride didn't do it too good. He only had about 6 catches for 31 yards. So he only had about 9 points. So I do think he's going to have a little bit better game against Philadelphia just because they're going to be scoring a lot of points all around. But I'll just roll with that. So number 9, Gerald Everett at Denver. Great matchup. Denver's dead last against tight ends. Bad defense. And Gerald Everett, he's been playing all right. He's obviously had a lot of quarterback issues, so that certainly affected it. but he's still been playing decent since he's came back off injury a few weeks ago. So definitely want to get him up there at number 9. Number 10, I'm going to Cole Kmet, who is questionable at home against Atlanta. Now, he's truly questionable. We really are not too sure exactly what's going on with him or if he's going to be playing. He had 107 yards and 4 catches last week against Arizona. So he had a very good game, but he injured his knee against them, and he came back questionable. Again, this is Tuesday that I record, so keep that in mind, and just keep an update on that. But if he is playing, definitely like him up there at number 10 against Atlanta. Number 11, I'm going to Kyle Pitts at Chicago. Kyle Pitts at Chicago is a great matchup. I think he hasn't had one of those very good years. He's had a lot of quarterback issues, but now that Heineke's in there, definitely going to put him up there at number 11 to score some points this week. Number 12, Isaiah Likely at home against Miami. This one is going to be a high-scoring game. Likely had a good week last week. He scored against San Francisco. He definitely is going to be involved in this offense going forward without Mark Andrews. So against Miami, definitely a good matchup. I like it. Put him there at number 12. Number 13, Dallas Goedert at home against Arizona. Arizona has a good defense. It's going to be tough for Goedert to put up a lot of those points that he sometimes does, but I do think he gets some points. It's not going to be 2-3 points. He's definitely going to get you 5 to 10 points at minimum. And same thing with Dalton Schultz and Kincaid. I'm going to put the last 14 and 15 together. Dalton Schultz, Dalton Kincaid at home against Tennessee, at home against New England, number 1 and 2 against tight ends in fantasy. So Schultz, I can't really say without C.J. Stroud that he's going to be having a great game against number 1 defense. Got to put him at number 14. And Kincaid, I mean, against New England, same deal, except he is Josh Allen. So that's the upside of it. If anything, I maybe would switch those two around. But Dalton Kincaid, he had 2 points last week. He had none the week before that. It's not looking good the way the Bills' offense is running, and with Dawson Knox back. So take that as it is. And that does it for this week's tight end rankings. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go subscribe, like, follow, comment. Let us know what you guys think. We want to hear from you guys. We love interaction with you guys. And if this is the last video you hear from us this year, I hope you guys have a great year. And good luck in the finals.